we just, we didn't play good offense again, and it's been a common theme here last couple. And we defended better. I mean, they got that lob play too many times in the second half. But outside of that, I didn't have a lot of complaints. They're a really good shooting team. We held them under their averages from three, and did what we needed to do defensively to have a chance to win. But when you go right down the line and you just look at the numbers, they're not great, and that amounted to 35% for the game, and just individual guys that didn't shoot well, especially on perimeter, just collectively. So it was tough to overcome. I thought the only positives really on offense for us was Melo's contribution and what Tay was able to do at times out there.
What did you think about the possessions, both sides, in the last couple minutes?
I mean, I thought that we had some nice things. Late clock, Rob's play, to get it to one was pretty good, and we managed that time pretty well, being down 6, I think, at one point late, and so to cut it to one and around the minute and change, we didn't switch properly on that ball screen and gave him too much space, and he had made a couple in the game, so. That wasn't great defense to get it back to 4. So yeah, it was not a great way to finish it. But you got to have guys out there that make shots like that. It was a contested 3 and he hit it, and you got to make plays on offense to win closeout games.
And how did the team respond overall after last game?
Yeah, they were receptive to taking ownership of it, and to they practiced well, especially yesterday was really good. I thought good energy, and there's always some lingering effects sometimes when you get beaten that badly, and your confidence typically is shaken a little bit. It's hard to truly bounce back in 48 hours, but I thought the guys had the right intentions going into the game.
What do you think the biggest culprit was in the second half as far as the offensive struggles?
Just I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there was just a lot of missed shots. We weren't moving it at times, and I think Elias had a wide open 3 in the corner. There's a lot of others that were out there for us to take advantage of that we didn't.
You mentioned them kept hitting the lob plays. Was that just a miscommunication on defense?
I mean, again, I'm not going to talk about the defense a lot because we held them to 67, and they didn't score that many points or enough points for me to really blame the defense. I'm open to talk about how bad the offense was tonight and has been lately, but as far as defense, I don't have major issues with it.
Melo went 37 minutes. You had couple guys out, and did you not play Kamani, which is your decision, or was that an issue that you had?
Well, I mean, I have to start, tuning into a group and try and get some rhythm in a rotation. Just shuttling guys in and out, 10, 11 guys, just is not the answer long term. I probably said that a few games ago, and I needed to try and figure out who I could try and count on in a game. And tonight was the group that I went with, and it'll get evaluated game to game, like how things are going, but that was just my judgment.
And what about Alonzo? 14 points in the first half, didn't hit shots in the second half. What did you think about just kind of the way that he continues to progress?
I don't think he really read what they were doing well in this game. Overall, they were really dropping off him because they knew, or I'm sure they watched the film of him getting all the shots in the lane that he scored. So he didn't have the confidence that he needed to pull the trigger a few times when I thought he was wide open. There was the one he missed, the pull-up that he missed late in the game should have been a rhythm 3, and so that was one of the late possessions that didn't go our way. That but he didn't really identify that well enough, and we didn't get that point across to him enough that they weren't really guarding him and they were playing the drive.
Rob obviously just had those 2 points. Is it a case with him, the shot selection, or is it just him missing wide open?
I mean, he took 5. It's not going to be too difficult to look at them all. I mean, he had one that I know was wide open in the first half from 3. And, you got to try and make those type of shots so that you could dig yourself out of the hole that you're in right now. But he wasn't able to in the first half. And, you know, it was good to see him get the dunk at the end, but, I mean, it's kind of a little bit too late at that point. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Alonzo, 14 points in the first half. You didn't make a shot in the second half. Is there anything that kind of changed there, or what did you make about the way the game kind of unfolded?
I got to my spots, got to where I wanted to get to. I just couldn't hit any shots. Just got to my spots, got to the areas I wanted to, just wasn't falling.
Looked like at least in the first half, you guys responded pretty well from a tough night on Wednesday. Did you feel practices and everything leading up to tonight was the way you wanted it to be?
Somewhat, yeah. We practiced hard. We responded good in practice. Yeah, I think we practiced good.
What did you think about the end game, just the last couple of minutes? You had the one pull-up, two, and then you had the out of the timeout, the one in the corner three. What did you think about those possessions?
Shots I got to make. I think I was being hesitant on the pull-up, two. Should have shot the three. The corner three, I wasn't balanced. I was leaning on my shot, so I kind of went to the right, and I was leaning. I wasn't straight up and down.
Coach Hurley was mentioning that he kind of saw some defenses playing off you so you wouldn't drive in. Is that kind of what you noticed too?
Absolutely. I'm a basketball player, so I noticed it right away. I noticed that they were sagging off of me, so I was shooting it a lot more today.
When the team as a whole kind of gets in a little bit of funk from behind the arc, what do you guys say to each other as that kind of is happening?
We're a family, so it's like we motivate each other. We push each other. We tell each other to keep shooting, because even though it might not seem like we're more than capable of hitting shots, we just push each other and keep motivating each other.
Is it tough when those shots are falling in practice and the same ones don't fall in the game?
Yeah, it's real tough. It's real tough. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Do you think this was a better defensive performance by you guys tonight than versus Wednesday?
Yeah, I think we defended well. I think they were kind of like the same team. They shoot the ball very well. I think we defended well going into except the last 4 minutes of the game.
That's good.